People are social beings and live together. Written or unwritten rules have been established by people throughout history for the peace and security of this union. So, have you ever wondered what the first written laws were and who created them? In this study, we will examine the oldest known written law in world history. Ur-Nammu Law. The Code of Ur-Nammu, 2100 to 2050 BC, is the oldest legal text that has survived in its entirety. It is known that other laws existed before this law in the Mesopotamian basin. It dates back to 2100 to 2050 BC and was written in Sumerian. The preamble to the law attributes this to Ur-Nammu, king of the city of Ur. Ur-Nammu was the Sumerian king who founded the third dynasty of Ur in southern Mesopotamia after the domination of Akkadian and Gudi. His most important achievement in history is the restructuring of the state and the oldest written law, the Ur-Nammu Laws. However, it is possible that the body of the text was prepared by Ur-Nammu's son. 40 of the 57 rules contained in this law have been compiled. Most of these provisions concern criminal law and family law. Although the law provided for the death penalty for some crimes such as murder and theft, various fines were imposed for other crimes. The first known version of the Ur-Nammu Code is exhibited in the Istanbul Archaeological Museum. The laws found on clay tablets were analyzed by world-famous Sumerologists Lami and Hadisi Kazlii within the Istanbul Archaeological Museum. The law articles are as follows. Prologue. After An and Enlil had turned over the kingship of Ur to Nana, at that time did Ur-Nammu, son born of Ninsun, for his beloved mother who bore him, in accordance with his principles of equity and truth. Then did Ur-Nammu the mighty warrior, king of Ur, king of Sumer and Akkad, by the might of Nana, lord of the city, and in accordance with the true word of Utu, establish equity in the land. He banished malediction, violence, and strife, and set the monthly temple expenses at 90 gur of barley, 30 sheep, and 30 sela of butter. He fashioned the bronze sela measure, standardized the 1 mina weight, and standardized the stone weight of a shekel of silver in relation to 1 mina. The orphan was not delivered up to the rich man, the widow was not delivered up to the mighty man, the man of 1 shekel was not delivered up to the man of 1 mina. 1 mina was made equal to 60 shekels. 1. If a man commits a murder, that man must be killed. 2. If a man commits a robbery, he will be killed. 3. If a man commits a kidnapping, he is to be imprisoned and pay 15 shekels of silver. 4. If a slave marries a slave, and that slave is set free, he does not leave the household. 5. If a slave marries a native person, he/she is to hand the firstborn son over to his owner. 6. If a man violates the right of another and deflowers the virgin wife of a young man, they shall kill that male. 7. If the wife of a man followed after another man and he slept with her, they shall slay that woman, but that male shall be set free. 8. If a man proceeded by force, and deflowered the virgin slave woman of another man, that man must pay 5 shekels of silver. 9. If a man divorces his first-time wife, he shall pay her 1 mina of silver. 10. If it is a former widow whom he divorces, he shall pay her half a mina of silver. 11. If the man had slept with the widow without there having been any marriage contract, he need not pay any silver. 13. If a man is accused of sorcery, he must undergo ordeal by water. If he is proven innocent, his accuser must pay 3 shekels. 14. If a man accused the wife of a man of adultery, and the river ordeal proved her innocent, then the man who had accused her must pay 1/3 of a mina of silver. 15. If a prospective son-in-law enters the house of his prospective father-in-law, but his father-in-law later gives his daughter to another man, the father-in-law shall return to the rejected son-in-law twofold the amount of bridal presents he had brought. 17. If a slave escapes from the city limits, and someone returns him, the owner shall pay 2 shekels to the one who returned him. 18. If a man knocks out the eye of another man, he shall weigh out 1/2 a mina of silver. 19. If a man has cut off another man's foot, he is to pay 10 shekels. 20. If a man, in the course of a scuffle, smashed the limb of another man with a club, he shall pay 1 mina of silver. 21. If someone severed the nose of another man with a copper knife, he must pay 2/3 of a mina of silver. 22. If a man knocks out a tooth of another man, he shall pay 2 shekels of silver. 24. If he does not have a slave, he is to pay 10 shekels of silver. If he does not have silver, he is to give another thing that belongs to him. 25. If a man's slave woman, comparing herself to her mistress, speaks insolently to her, her mouth shall be scoured with 1 quart of salt. 28. If a man appeared as a witness, and was shown to be a perjurer, he must pay 15 shekels of silver. 29. If a man appears as a witness, but withdraws his oath, he must make payment, to the extent of the value in litigation of the case. 30. If a man stealthily cultivates the field of another man and he raises a complaint, this is however to be rejected, and this man will lose his expenses. 31. If a man flooded the field of a man with water, he shall measure out 3 kur of barley per iku of field. 32. If a man had let an arable field to another man for cultivation, but he did not cultivate it, turning it into wasteland, he shall measure out 3 kur of barley per iku of field. For more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, like the video and recommend it to your friends, and share your ideas and suggestions in the comments. Hoping for a more just world. Goodbye.